Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Goad, and I would like to welcome you all to the Fantom Sports Network Local Sports Initiative Social Media Press Conference. This is a big week for the foundation of the Fantom Sports Network, and before tomorrow's official launch of the Local Sports Initiative, we would like to take a moment to catch up with President and Vice President of Fantom Sports Network, Tyler Smith and Jackson Gars.
Hello, everyone. First off, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to hop on this space and be a part of the first ever official press conference for the Fantom Sports Network. Hopefully, one is which is first of many as we strive to take the future step towards leaving our footprint on this region's dynamic sports scene. I hope you're all having a wonderful week, and I hope you're all as excited as we are for the big day that is ahead tomorrow. The Fantom Sports Network Local Sports Initiative was built to serve as the foundation of our upcoming sports media outlet, and as we prepare to launch this local campaign, we wanted to take the time to hold this presser and answer any possible questions about the future that may be brewing. Before we get started, I just want to take a quick moment to reflect on the journey that has gotten us to the point and also touch on some things I feel should be called on before we kick things off. Let's see. On May 20th, which was the day after the sale, I believe, and change of leadership team was announced, I released a statement titled My Journey Comes Home. And in this statement, I took a journey back in my life and realized how much of it was built off of this region's local sports scene. I traveled back to being with my aunt at the Berglund Center, and back then it was known as the Roanoke Civic Center, being at the Roanoke Express games, listening to those ECHL's finest slamming against the glass. I think about myself as a kid at Salem Memorial Ballpark watching the Salem Avalanche, and now watching the Salem Red Sox, the single A minor league affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. I think about myself playing football at Salem Stadium. I also think about watching football at Salem Stadium with Stag Bowls. I just think about the local sports scene that this region has to offer and everything that I've personally experienced in my life and reflected on it, because honestly, I've had a life raised by the dynamic sports scene of the 540. And it's really led it on the past 5 years of this journey that we've been on in creating a brand in the world of sports media. I mean, 5 years ago, me and Jackson, we got into a camper, an old 1951 pull-behind camper, and we started up a little Facebook page called The Camper Crew. Our goal was to create a new sports media outlet that introduced new ways of a new fan's perspective into looking at things and to covering sports. At first, we really didn't know exactly where we wanted to go with the Camper Crew. We just knew that we had a dream that we wanted to chase right then and there. Fortunately for us, that dream went and grew and grew and grew, and we found our footing in different areas as the Camper Crew would find itself becoming Over the Ropes Sports, or actually, it was Over the Ropes Podcast first, where it was just a professional wrestling based podcast by me, and then Jackson would join along, and that would grow into Over the Ropes Sports, which was the main base and the main foundation of our idea of creating a sports network and an entire outlet that you could consume multiple forms of sports media, sports entertainment on. I look at those 5 years and the journeys that we've been on and what we've accomplished and what we haven't accomplished, technical difficulties. As we kind of went through today, it's always haunted us, even throughout that 5 years. And getting into the world of sports has really always been a dream of mine, but more importantly, the dream of contributing myself back to the region that raised me was the big thing. I can credit a lot of my success to the city I live in and the opportunities the region of the 540 has provided me. In return, I can recognize the importance of local success and bringing that credit back home. And that's exactly why we're here today, preparing ourselves for tomorrow. But before I wrap things on and pass it on to the next, I just want to acknowledge some very important individuals that have been crucial along this entire journey. First and foremost, shout out to the man upstairs for blessing us with the opportunities that we've received. Shout out to my parents for the love and support that they've given me throughout this entire journey. Shout out to my brothers, not only the two little ones of Bentley and Hunter at home, but also the ones that I'm fortunate enough to call partners in all of this. The team that we have here at Fantom is unbelievably motivated and committed to making all of this preparation before launch a lot easier behind the scenes. Shout out to Jackson, the guy that is in this presser with us today. Shout out to Patrick, who unfortunately isn't live in this presser today, but he has been so crucial in the behind the scene work. And I just want to take time right now to let you all know that we appreciate him more than ever, and to let him know that he is awesome. And thank you to Patrick. Shout out to Jimmy, who is hosting our presser today. And I'm going to be real with y'all. This is probably the best choice that anyone could have ever made as an intern. When we're talking about a first ever intern, Jimmy is committed. He's dedicated. He's focused on helping us build this brand. And we respect the living hell out of him for just that. Shout out to you, Jimmy. Shout out to Moise. He's played a crucial role in guiding me throughout taking over this business side of things, and I will always be thankful for his support. Shout out to Fly, shout out to Peckins, and of course, shout out to Dree, the originals of the Fantom Sports Network. Without them, this brand would not be where it is today, and I appreciate everything they did for Fantom over the past 2 years. Shout out to everyone who else has guided me, given me advice, and supported us through this entire journey. We're heading into a new era. One is here at home, and I couldn't be more excited for the future. But now it's time for me to shut the hell up and pass it on to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jackson Garst, the Vice President and Head of Content Creation.
Thank you so much, Tyler. We appreciate your great speech. All right. Well, yet again, I want to thank everybody for being here in our press release. We're super excited just to get this one started and to, maybe like Tyler said, be the first of many for the Fantom Sports Network. And what has to behold, it's not to be known, but we give it up and we go forward. We have so many great ideas, and piggybacking off what Tyler said, we're just so excited to re-emphasize and relocate back here in the region, back in the 540 for the region. Like we said, we see that there's so much great talent from top to bottom, and we just want to be a part of it as a whole. We think that the region that we're in is just one of the most excellent, and we just want to be able to create content and get it out there for the people of our area, and be able to get a new perspective that people maybe haven't seen before for the world of sports, and especially in high school and stuff like that. We're hoping to really expand upon this and really just drive home how great our area is for the region. Yet again, I, of course, am content head, so I will always emphasize to follow our major social media stuff. We have a new YouTube home. Please go find that Fantom Sports Network, I believe, on YouTube. Make sure to go hit the likes, the subscribes, the bells, all that. We have a website out. You can go find that. It's not fully done just yet. Can't say too much, but we have a base. We got a base. A base is a good home for somewhere. And you can find a bunch of other stuff like our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. We need to get back on. Maybe look out for the TikTok, because there could be some new stuff coming out soon. Maybe like a Salem Fair or something like that. Remember that good stuff. Right now, we also, if you can see somewhere in the top, we have a T-shirt giveaway going on. We're trying to really reach our mark on followers here on Twitter, and also over there on Instagram. Tell everybody you know, your mother, your brother, your sister, everybody, your cousin. You've heard it a million times. Let them know. Follow us here at the Fantom Sports Network. That way they don't miss anything that's going to come this season. We have so much in store, and we just can't wait to give it to you. That's really all for me right now, so I'm going to transition back over to our host, Jimmy.
Okay, so at this time, we would like to move on to the official presser questions. I will ask our leadership team, Tyler Smith and Jackson Garst, a select number of questions regarding the future of Fantom Sports Network, and they will give each answer that they can accordingly. Our first question that I'm going to propose is, what is it like to start over and create a new brand from the beginning?
That's a tough one to answer. This journey has been certainly a journey, if you will. I think the main thing that I can describe all of this is very eye-opening and very comforting if that makes sense. Starting over and creating a new beginning for a brand that's already existed for 2 years, I guess that seems as a task to most people that's probably challenging to do. In the past 2 years, the Fantom Sports Network, in my opinion, has gone on a journey, on a spiritual journey, where they tried to find themselves, and we were going on the spiritual journey where we were on the path of trying to figure out, like, are we going to be the unicorn, or are we going to be the fire breathing dragon? And I think that it came down to a decision that we had to make, of we wanted to be the fire breathing dragon. That really stuck out to people. Shout out to Mike Leach, by the way. Rest in peace. May his soul be with us forever. I just wanted to throw out a crazy analogy, just for the hell of it. That was off the top of the head. But starting over and creating a new beginning for this brand, I think, has been a challenge of its own. There's been some tasks that we've ran into when it comes to what exactly are we going to do, how are we going to do this. A lot of this is new to us, especially to myself, as I take over a bigger role in a president of a company. We're now owners of a company now. We're on a leadership team. I believe Jackson mentioned, when everything happened and all the official announcements came out, he talked about how it it's important now, because you understand that your name is tied to a brand, and you understand that you have to represent things, and it's on your shoulders to do such a thing like that. And in such, you've got to know how to carry yourself, and you've got to know how to carry the ideas that you have, because honestly, I have a lot of them, and I know the guys that I work with, they have a lot of them as well. And when you're trying to take a collective of ideas and bring them into a bucket and say, okay, where are we going to go from here? We've taken a past 2 years of going down a road and experimenting with things. How do we make that new? And the answer was simple, really. It was quite a call, call to us, a call to home, if that makes sense. And that helped us a lot in this process when it came to creating a new beginning for this brand. I know there were some initial decisions on possibly completely rebranding and going away from the Fantom Sports Network. Uh, the whole design of the Fantom Sports Network and that whole brand, we discussed it. I'll say that up front, and we were going to put that in the archives and let it do its thing. But we said, nah, there's no point in doing that. I know in the past 2 years that we've worked hard, and the people that we've worked with have also worked hard to build a brand. Why not continue that success? We're all about the hard work, the dedication, the homegrown brand. And that is, in my eyes, exactly what the Fantom Sports Network is. So, creating a new beginning for the brand and starting over, it's different. It's eye opening. It's a new experience, and it's a blessing. Honestly, it's an honor to do, and I'm excited to be able to be in a role that I am, and have guys like Patrick, guys like Jackson by my side, helping us every single step of the way in this whole thing. They're very creative. They're very open minded, and all of us work together very well. And then we got Jimmy on top of our crew helping us out, and the entire team here. I'm blessed to say that they are what it's like to start a new brand, because it's all about all of us together working as a team.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like, I'm definitely right behind you. There's, I mean, a lot of ups and downs when it comes to stuff like this. It's definitely hard. You have to commit, you have to have the mindset for it, and you definitely have to be ready for whatever comes at you. There's a lot to take on, but with the right mindset and everything like that, there's nothing that is impossible. And so it's really refreshing to get this new take on the brand that we've already created, because we wanted to continue this brand. And, like he said, we love this brand. We love the Phantom Sports Network. We love what we did before, and we want to carry on its name and do even more for it, and to make it even more of a thing now, and even more presence here in the today, and in the region that is the 540, and so much more, and beyond. And we're like Tyler said, we're just really blessed to get a chance to do that and get to expand upon that.
Okay, so I think something else that we're all dying to know is what went into the process of the decision making of the rebrand. I know that it's hard to rebrand, and I'm sure it was a hard decision. But is there anything else that you guys want to say in terms of why you made the decision to rebrand and why you are so focused on the 540 and the sports initiative?
Yeah, I think it was more of a group effort, no doubt. There was a lot of conversation between a lot of the big higher ups, of course, and some of course, Moise, Tyler, Patrick, and everybody else. We didn't want to let everybody be disincluded from the original. We wanted everybody to be on the same page, 100% of what our plan was and what we wanted to do. And everybody was just very positive with it and usually behind us to get this new idea that we had out, and were definitely backing us and our theme to get on road, to get back to the region and give back to what we did, and that's true at home.
So the process of this making such a decision, like you said, it was a group effort. Really, I think I look back into it, and I'm going to be honest. I'll take it to day one, and I'm going to give a big shout out here, Mr. Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson allowed us to have an opportunity to be able to work together with Unrivaled 540 and cover a local high school camp that was designed to put a spotlight on this region. And I think something that in my past, in my entire life, I've had a goal of putting a spotlight on this region. As a former high school athlete in this region, at a high school like Salem is, where there was 3 state championships won and 0 D1 offers. So you look at that, and it's just like, okay, how do we change this? A process of making a decision like this into the rebrand and to kind of put a reset on everything. I think that the entire decision making portion was, like I said earlier, it was all easy. It came to us at heart. It was like this was meant to be. It was a calling home, if you will. And with that camp, that was a calling home. It all started when we had that opportunity and we got to experience that, and we realized that this is what we want to do. We want to put a spotlight on this region, and I'm appreciative of the team that we have and the team that we started things with. And I will always be appreciative of those guys for the effort that they put in into building this brand. When it comes to making such a decision and this whole process, it was all just based off of, did we want to come home? Did we want to do the thing that we knew we wanted to do this whole time? I feel like in our entire journey, and I was sitting at the bar one day in Blacksburg. I was talking to a man, and he told me that one of the biggest things that he learned when it comes to the business world is, when you start up a business, you go and you're trying to figure out exactly what you want to do. You're taking 2 years to network around the world, go globally, try to go mainstream, try to blow yourself up, and just see what works, see what doesn't. But eventually, you're gonna get a calling that's gonna bring you home, bring you to your roots, and find success. And in that calling was home, which is the region of the 540. And so, going into making that decision, it was a breeze.
Thank you for those very insightful answers, guys. My next question would be: are we going to see any resemblance of Fantom Sports Network version one, or is it going to be a completely different entity and be completely something fresh?
So, I guess as you all saw, the beginning stages of this whole process kind of happened when the Fantom Sports Network debuted their new logo, and we really sat on the Fantom Sports Network branding. I think that was a moment that we really locked in something that we wanted to go with. So when it comes to resemblance of the Fantom Sports Network version 1, something that I can say will be a very big resemblance is going to be the branding. The logo It's not going to change, I don't believe, unless we tweak it. Who knows what happens in this next month? So I can go unquoted here. But the current discussions right now are leaning towards us keeping things the same when it comes to branding wise, color wise. If you look at the website, if anybody remembers that one time back in the day when I was on my own Twitch and I showed the website, the early preview, and we had version 1, fantomsportsnetwork.com v.1.0. The website is going to look similar to that. If anyone can remember what that looked like, it's going to look like that. If you don't remember what that looks like, you can just visit www.fantomsports.net. Other than the branding aspect of it all, I think that the viewers can expect a resemblance in the sense of you're still going to have Tyler, Jackson, Patrick. They're still going to stand for the things that they stand in when it comes to their wants of covering sports and how they cover things. You're also going to see Tyler, Jackson, and Patrick take a step in their game and realize that they are in a more set role now. And this is our commitment and our dedication to this business. And there's going to be some parts of version 1 of the Fantom Sports Network that are going to be left behind and kind of kept there. But it's not in a bad say. It's more so in a step of growth, which is exactly what we're aiming for every single day here. So when it comes to the full resemblance, I think there's going to be bits and pieces that you see, but it's not going to be full Fantom Sports Network version 1. There's going to be some resembling show titles that you've already seen. So yeah, the resembling show titles, of course, those kept, and then there might be things here and there, but bits and pieces. Yeah, pass it off to Jackson. He'll probably have a better idea about this, to be honest.
Yeah, to say it in the most smart aleck way I can say, yes. No, for real. There's gonna be parts of Mach 1 where we were Fantom that's still there. The very basis, the foundation is still there. But then, yes, again, there's gonna be a whole new thing. It's gonna be a whole new, almost version V2. It's a point 0.5 almost. You remember when the Godfather got so popular that they did a 0.5 version? That's what we're doing basically. We're getting so popular in our own mind, so we're doing a 0.5. That's where I'm going with this. We've just kind of thought of this whole thing and this whole process as more of the reconciliation back at home. We took everything else and we brought it right back here. We took, like Patrick Star from SpongeBob, we took it and we put it somewhere else. I don't know how much more analogies I can put into here to make y'all understand that we are coming right back to home, right where we want to be, giving us the best we can every day, every night, right here for the region. That was the plan, and that's what we're going to do. That's a kind of what we did before. We wanted to take everything we could and just smack it all at you. We're going to do it even better, even more for you and for the region.
Okay, now this one is really a two-part, or not a two-parter, but I'm gonna get both of you guys' input on this. We'll start with Tyler. Tyler, what is it like to begin this journey that you have began to begin it at home? What is this like?
Oh man, that's a fun one. Here at home, honestly, I'm going to give you an answer that's straight to the point and it revolves to where we're sitting at today. I think what it means to start this journey here at home is the fact that I'm in the first ever Fantom Sports Network press conference. And the people that are going to remember this are going to be the ones that started this journey at home with us. And that's the most important part of this entire journey, in my point, and the most driving factor behind starting this journey here at home is the people that are here at home. I recognize how much opportunity I have been blessed with here at home, as I mentioned earlier, and I can credit the city of Salem, Virginia, and I can credit the wonderful people that have been around in this region. It's a bright region, and to be able to take where I develop my love for sports and I develop my love for wanting to be in the media. It means a lot because I had a conversation with someone and they talked about how, you want to create a real opportunity for yourself, then go move to a big city. Go move to Dallas. Go move to Charlotte. Go move to Miami. Go move to a big sports city that you can go get bigger opportunities. And honestly, that sounds great. But why can't I make the 540 into a big sports city like Charlotte, like Dallas, like Miami, with an outlet that serves this community and the values that stand in these mountains? I think that's the biggest part about starting this journey here at home, is being able to create something that's dedicated, grass-fed, homegrown in your backyard. And you can look at it and say, we did that for us. Because this entire time, we've been doing it for us. It's bigger than just the Fantom Sports Network. This is for the region. And that's what all of this is about. That's what starting this new journey here at home is about.
I mean, it's a dream come true, honestly. And the main thing is we want the exposure for these kids that that maybe we didn't get, or that we think that some people didn't get and maybe deserved. There's so many just great athletes from top to bottom in so many different sports and so many aspects and so many different walks of life, from here just in the little spot of Southwest Virginia up along the Blue Ridge, like Tyler was saying, along these mountain ranges. There is just nothing but streaming talent from these fountains of just great places that are locally known to be just absolute powerhouses. And the fact that people have slept on these communities for years is honestly absolutely ridiculous. And now we see that some of the bigger names are getting recognized. Now is no time than better. The present is the best time to really get started on getting these kids what they deserve. And that's a platform to really expand upon on their talents and stuff like that, because it is a hard thing to do alone, especially as a young athlete in the world. Not a lot of people will give you that shot, that guidance, that hand to be like, hey, we'll give you just a little something, just a little more. And that's just what we want to do, is give that little more to us and to the community and to the people who deserve it and the ones that we see and love.
Thank you guys for those insightful answers once again. Jumping into the next question, there is a variety of sports media outlets for consumption in today's age. How does the Fantom Sports Network plan on integrating their outlet into the everyday lives of all sports enthusiasts?
Yeah, I'll be happy to take this one first, because as head of the content, my whole idea is, of course, never to step on anybody's toes, but instead to include all of it in the grand scheme of things. And the truth of it, we want to grow the relationships here in the Southwest Virginia and the rest of the 540 region. We want to expand upon what they've already created and do even more of what they've already done, and help just build what the community is all about. And that's just the love and the growth, and all of that's powered through the sports and the people that we see around from the day-to-day basis. We just want to integrate a place to where all people can go to and not feel like they're getting bombarded with random ads that shouldn't make sense. They're at home ads, or with content that shouldn't be there, over the top content, stuff that's true to what they want to see, and they want to get it quick and they want to get it easy. And I feel like we can be that place to where they can go and they can get that content, that outlet, and people can find that source, and people can use that source and that outlet so they can better use themselves in a way, so they can expand on their talents that they have, and whatever it may be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tail off of what he said for a sec. When it comes to growing and growing this community along with what's already been built, I think that's definitely a big key. Another thing is also introducing new things. I mean, the Fantom Sports Network, like you mentioned, Jimmy, we want to plan, and the question kind of answers itself. We want to plan to integrate our outlet into the everyday lives of sports enthusiasts. And I think today's age of where the everyday sports enthusiasts can get their content at the tip of their fingers anytime that they want it, it's kind of challenging to do so. I mean, anybody could start something like a podcast and go and talk about whatever they want. Anybody could technically start a website and write a blog and write their articles and give their opinions on sports. So you kind of want to look at this region and look at the outlets and look at the content that the people around here are offered. And you want to kind of figure out how you're going to create something new and introduce to something new. I think that the Fantom Sports Network, we're kind of set to bring comprehensive coverage and unmatched entertainment value to the backyard levels of not only high school, but college and minor league athletics. And then as we take that local scene and build a foundation here in this local region, we're also adding sprinkles and dashes of that global sports scene as well. We're still talking about your trending topics, but we're built off of what is here at home. And that's going to be our main focus. And I think that's what's going to drive us different from a lot of people. I was talking to somebody today and I had a good conversation with them about, and they gave me a kind of a insight of what they would like to see, some advice that they could possibly like to see. And she talked about how, as a parent of athletes in this region, it's kind of hard to find schedules. Finding sports schedules for teams and playoffs and different stuff like that for these high schools around here is a little challenging to get to. So to be able to have a convenient spot to be able to access stuff like that would be pretty cool. So that's ways that the Fantom Sports Network can step up and step out and become different and accessible, and to ways that other outlets might not be to this local region. And I think that's going to be one of the most crucial part of starting our process of integrating our outlet into the everyday lives of sports enthusiasts is just simply um, displaying an array of engaging and comprehensive coverage, doing live broadcast, in-depth player profiles, expert analysts, and just captivating stories that highlight the triumphs, the challenges of this local region and its athletes here in the 540. So I think that kind of answers this question of how we plan on integrating our outlet into the lives of all the sports enthusiasts, and also kind of making ourselves step out compared to everyone that's already been doing this. We're new. We got to offer something new. We got to make a name. That's what Fantom's about.
Yeah, I could not have said that better myself, Tyler. Okay, so let's jump in and look at the future. So let's look at this elephant in the room and let's address it right now. Tomorrow, Fantom Sports has been hyping up this big announcement that is going to shock the waves of the internet. What exactly can fans expect, and what exactly can anyone who wants to follow the Fantom Sports Network expect for it?
I go, I guess.
You or Jackson, you
Okay.
guys, whichever one wants to respond, or you can both. We're for the people. Everyone can respond.
You're right. Hey, first off, before I respond to this, I'm going to give a shout out to the man Jacob over here. Jimmy, you might have heard us call him Hokey Fanatic 22, the host of this presser. He is doing a fantastic job of leading these questions, delivering all this stuff, and kind of keeping us in check and keeping us going. Addressing that elephant in the room, though, it's pretty big, ain't it? I feel like this is something that's been working up over the past month, which it has been. When we started this whole process, when we announced the leadership team and the change of ownership, we kind of got straight to work in planning on what we wanted to do, how we were going to accomplish that. We've been working in the studio, which is a big thing. We're trying to build this studio, get that done. But in the meantime, we've also been working on a little something more important. This is the foundation of our sports network. The Fantom Sports Network Local Sports Initiative is going to be a endeavor that's dedicated to celebrating and supporting the dynamic local sports scene of our region. We have a strong belief that the sports here in this region. Foster community spirit. It ignites that passion of future athletes and future sports enthusiasts. It brings this area together, as I know Jackson has mentioned multiple times throughout the night tonight. The Fantom Sports Network's local sports initiative is something that is designed to we've already practically said it throughout this entire night, and I can't technically go into full detail. So I'm trying to figure out how to give proper PR trained responses to this question without fully spilling my beans, as I'm famously known for. The Fantom Sports Network local sports initiative, here's what I can say you can expect. You can expect something that will embrace the power of local sports. You can expect something that we have created to serve as the foundation of this sports network. And you can expect all of our ideas for the future to be shared with all of you. That's probably the best answer I can give for that question about the elephant in the room. Jackson, do you have anything that you could jump off with? Because I feel like I might have fumbled that one.
Let's see if I can hit it with maybe an inspirational quote here or something like that. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
The future will soon be the thing of the past. George Carlin. Now, when I look at that quote, I know it sounds a little weird at first, but that's what we talk about every day. The future. What's next? Tomorrow. The next day. After that. That's all going to be in the past tomorrow. It's weird to kind of concept and put in your mind, but every day there's something new, but then it's past. So you have to be in front. You have to have that foot forward. Have the mind in front of the future, the foot in front of the future as it passes by. And I think that's what we're trying to show here at Fantom Sports is that with every step, we're going to step ahead along with it as well. And the only thing I can say is if you haven't checked out all our social media, then you have no clue what's going on. But if you have, you probably can guess what's going to happen and what's going to go on. That tomorrow is the official day that Fantom Sports Network is for the region and the future is us. Is Fantom.
Okay, so to transition to our next question, what mission does the Fantom Sports Network strive to accomplish with their local sports initiative?
He wants us to spill the beans.
Yeah, I mean, clearly that's what the case is here. I mean, just the number
Give
one
the
goal, I
people
think,
what
and
they want. Give the people what they want.
I think the number one thing, and I think he'll agree here, is the mission is to just drive home how much we care about this region, how much we realize this potential is from top to bottom, all the way through, and how we want to basically achieve the mission for the rest of the region. I know that sounds insane that we're just 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. I'm counting up at this point, but it's just this group, this collective that is trying to just push this region on to better and higher standards because we think that it's getting left and not noticed when it shouldn't be. You know, we think that everything here is so important and just taking these strides to be one of the best, if not here in Virginia, in the nation. And we just want to show the world that.
You just hit the ball out of the park. Shout out Jackson for that answer. I'm gonna give one answer, and I'm gonna give what Jimmy would call what the people want. We got a couple things releasing tomorrow. One of them will be a descriptor of this entire local sports initiative campaign. I'm gonna give you a paragraph out of this descriptor that describes the answer to this exact question. Is everyone ready? Jimmy, are you ready?
Yes, sir. We're ready to hear it. Let's spill the beans, baby.
All right, listen. As the Fantom Sports Network sets its sights on maximizing the spotlight on our growing region, we are dedicating to showcasing every game, recognizing every athlete, and acknowledging the unyielding community spirit that binds all of us together. Our local sports initiative serves as the foundation of this network, and we strive to nurture and expand the surrounding community of athletes and sports enthusiasts in this region for future generations. There's your answer, my friend.
I don't think that I could have said it better myself.
Jackson led up. I just had to follow up with some spaz, and I figured, you know what? Why not go ahead and give them what they want? But what I can tell you all real quick before you go, sorry for cutting you off. Jimmy's probably gonna kill me at this point. What I can say is that tomorrow we're gonna have a bunch of stuff happening. There will be some press releases. There will be some social media releases. I think that I've heard behind the scenes that this entire press release might get edited, and there might be an audio version of this press release, or excuse me, this press conference, that's going to be released along with press releases and social media descriptors and all that. So tomorrow's going to be a pretty big day, not only on the social medias but also on the website. So I know Jackson would appreciate this. Make sure you follow us on all of those platforms. It's at Fantom Sports Net on literally every single social media platform. www.fantomsports.net. That's how you access us. It's easy, it's simple. We got a lot coming on both ends. So make sure you keep your eyes out there. Back to you, Jacob. Sorry about that, buddy.
It's all good. It's all good. So we have two more questions here, and then we should be able to let anyone who has any other questions jump into the chat. But the first of the two questions I have is what local coverage can viewers expect from the Fantom Sports Network?
I think this dude's talked enough, so I'll go a little more. So not joking. I think it's like we've kind of explained. We're going bottom to top. We want to make sure we start, usually probably with the high school. We don't want to, I don't think we're gonna do anything middle school or lower than that. But hey, you never know. If we get the right coverage and the right stuff, it might be there. If it's interesting, it's probably gonna be there because we want everything. We want everybody to know anything. We want all of it from all the way here in Roanoke, all the way up in Covington. I don't think they have a football team anymore. Sad they shut down, but that's okay. I was just making references. Don't ignore that. Just ignore it. Just move it on. That's what we're aiming for. Everywhere, all the way up to the rail yard dogs, to the Red Sox. I mean, everything. We want all of it in this area to be covered in a way that where we can show it off.
I agree, and I agree on both ends. I might do talk just a little too much, but that is okay. Um, Perfect answer what Jackson practically said when it comes to the local coverage that viewers can expect from us. I think that the main thing that we want to make sure is that our coverage is assuring no game is too small, no athlete goes unnoticed, and no community spirit goes unacknowledged. That's the entire realm of the Fantom Sports Initiative here. That's what we want. We want to embrace the power of local sports to transcend, unite, and inspire the future as we strive to grow this region's local sports scene forever. That's the goal here. That's the type of coverage we want to provide. I already gave you insight earlier about the exact things that we are going to do when it comes to in-depth player profiles, when it comes to different broadcasts and live streams, articles that are going to be released. We want to captivate this local region and its sports scene in a way that some people have never seen it, in a way that we can know that in future generations, the Fantom Sports Network has left a footprint on this dynamic sports scene of the 540.
Great answers, guys. I really I hope that we're able to get out there and maybe we can do something like the news and maybe get out to some of the high schools and maybe get some player interviews or something, or reach out to them and see if maybe we can get them on the Fantom Sports Network. I would love to see that happen. But my last and final question that I have here is there anything in the works behind the scenes at Fantom Sports Network that you all would like to share?
Oh, first, oh no, you're going.
I mean, if you're good, I think you should go first. I talk too much when it comes to stuff like
I'll
this.
keep my. I keep my. We can just stay on at the same time, honestly, because I'll keep mine short and simple. I'll keep mine quick. I'll do three. One, website stuff. Always keep your eye on that. Two, get your putters ready. And three, follow Fantom Sports everywhere.
All right, so yeah, like he said, He practically took the words right out of my mouth. Number one, the website is the biggest thing that we have in the works right now behind the scenes. I mentioned earlier the studio. That's really big for us, is finally getting the studio finished. I don't know if you all saw on Twitter, but the official place that we're going to be recording, the place that all these streams are going to happen, is going to be now known as the Camper Cave. It is a throwback to the Camper Crew, the old camper that we started this entire journey in. We're going to get a nice sign made, so when you start seeing our streams, just keep an eye out for that. But we're building the studio. That's one of the biggest things that's kind of happening behind the scenes that I'd like to share. And then, like Jackson said, get your putters ready, because hopefully, if things lead off right, there could be a potential golf tournament coming in the next month or two. So keep your eyes there. Website, social medias, follow. That's the most important thing. We're going to be pumping out some social media content over the next couple months before we officially launch. When we officially launch, you all will know we will have an event, I believe, possibly. That could be a little too much speaking on my end here, but when it comes to sharing things, that's all I got for you. Shout out you. Shout out everyone. That's a final comment, as I know that we're about to probably close this thing down here soon, because this was big. But I'll pass it back to Jacob and let him do his thing. But shout out all y'all.
I would like to thank you guys for all your great answers. That's all my questions that I had that we had wrote down. Do you guys want to add anything else? I mean, I know we're always, harping on following the socials, but if everyone would follow the socials at Fantom Sports Network on Twitter, Instagram, any site you can think of. Follow Tyler at Tyler Smith FSN. Follow Jackson at Sauce FSN. Follow P Diddy as well. But yeah, would you guys like to add anything, or should we wrap this up and let everybody get on their way?
Thank you all for making this first press conference happen. Thank you to Jimmy for being the best host that we could have had. Shout out to Jackson for providing some answers along my rambling that I gave out to all of you. And thank you to the Fantom Sports Network for showing everyone exactly what the future is, and that is for the region.